Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Weed, pot, grass, dope, reefer, joint. Things I don't particularly like or support, and I would think that the majority of the people in this room are not in favour of. Words are powerful things, and when spoken out loud, conjure up certain images in our heads that are hard to misplace. Images like the stoner and the pothead. Images and words like recreational marijuana. I'd suggest, because of words and images, this body is losing sight of an opportunity that is obvious when we use different words. Mr. Speaker, I'd like the record to reflect that I do not support recreational marijuana. What I am in favour of, and I think many more people in this chamber are than are willing to say so publicly, is the taxation, regulation and decriminalisation of cannabis for adult use. Mr. Speaker, the gentleman from Mercer on our first day during his nomination speech spoke of how proud he was of you when you made those remarks at the Eggs and Issues breakfast. And I was at the same breakfast and I felt the same way. And if the gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Miley, can't be, Speaker, I'm glad that you are. For those that have been here the last several years, it's obvious that you get it and that you're operating in an open, transparent, and where possible, very bipartisan way, forward-thinking. I truly believe you're genuine when you say that you want to make West Virginia great, a great place to live, work, and raise a family. That morning, you also said that you're a West Virginian by choice, something we share. Unfortunately, too few people are making that choice. West Virginia's greatest export is not its coal, it's its people, and in particular, its young people. Now, why I'm grateful that things are as not economically dire around here as they have been the last 4 years, everybody knows this is short-lived. We all agree that the fundamental structural issues remain with the West Virginia economy, rooted in a population of wonderful people, but who are older, sicker, poorer, less prepared and equipped with the skills to provide for themselves and their families. Mr. Speaker, we have a population problem. Our population problem is not one we can legislate, reform, or breathe our way out of. We need to import our way out. This past year, we lost 11,216 West Virginians. At that same time, Colorado gained 79,662 people. With each passing year, we get older, and there are less of us. Fewer kids in our schools, fewer people to work at the jobs that need to be done to support those that need it and can't work on their own. We need to create a place that people want to come to. Cannabis can. John Denver is famous for two songs, Take Me Home Country Road and Rocky Mountain High. I don't think that's a coincidence. Cannabis can and does literally grow like a weed on the banks of our rivers and our mountainsides, and can be cultivated easily on our reclaimed mountaintop removal sites. The DEA issued a report in 2015 indicating that West Virginia was the 5th highest producing cannabis state in the country. As my colleagues from southern West Virginia can attest, we produce almost as much cannabis as we produce coal. We get no severance tax. The reason cannabis is a gateway drug is it's illegal. The war on drugs is lost. It's about as effective as a 10-foot wall if you have an 11-foot ladder. Prohibition hasn't worked since the Garden of Eden. In states that have functional cannabis programs, the rate of overdoses goes down. Cannabis can help fix treatment and fund treatment for our drug problems, and West Virginia can be a leader in research in new and effective ways to manage chronic pain and opioid addiction before it kills another 1,000 West Virginians. Cannabis is now legal for consumption in a neighbour country on our northern border, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes legal in a neighbouring state. Altria, that makes Marlboro, invested $2 billion in a Canadian cannabis company. The company that owns Corona, Constellation Brands, has invested billions of dollars in Canopy Growth, a Canadian cannabis company. I've personally moved a long way on this issue in the last 5 years. Back when Colorado in 2014 legalized its cannabis industry, and we were in the middle of our legal prescription drug problem, I would have also stood up and applauded with vigor when our Republican governor, who campaigned on jobs, 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 stated his opposition to bringing a new industry to West Virginia. I am now concerned that if we don't act, we will act too late, and we'll have all the challenges that come with this industry and none of the benefits. Cannabis can fix the single greatest problem we have. It's our people problem, it's our population problem. West Virginia does not need to send its money to Texas to build a wall on the southern border. We need to build a wall around West Virginia to keep our people in. A wall with a great big door and says, come on in, come visit, come stay. Cannabis can help us build that wall. There is a new and growing industry in this country, and West Virginia is uniquely positioned to capitalize on it. Cannabis is the single greatest economic opportunity that West Virginia has. West Virginia needs a niche crop. Cannabis can be that crop. With that in mind, I'm pleased to offer, with a number of my Democratic colleagues, House Bill 2331, which provides for the taxation, regulation, and decriminalization of the use of cannabis for individuals over the age of 21 with a county option and a prohibition on public consumption and the growing of personal plants. Revenue from the program would go to pay for healthcare for state employees, education for our youth, law enforcement, drug treatment, and provide a new income stream for our cities and counties. I ask for your consideration and the support from the Republican majority. In closing, Mr. Speaker, I would bring to your attention that the cannabis bill has been referred to not one, not two, but 3 major committees. Thank you for that. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I had a great close plan and a mic drop and all, so I won't go back to the very beginning, but in closing, the taxation, regulation, and decriminalization of cannabis can make West Virginia great. A great place to live, work, and raise a family. And it's well past time we had a serious debate about the opportunities and potential cannabis can offer West Virginia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm done.